easier for a camel to pass through the eye of a needle than a rich man get into heaven. You know, the whole anti-prosperity doctrine thing, which is, you know, prosperity doctrine is not spiritual. But the thing with them is that part of his commandments of acts of penance, per se, yeah, especially with a rich, young, wealthy landowner female.
Oh my goodness!
Oh yeah!
Oh my goodness!
He was found out to have an affair with this one
Just
countess.
one? Just one?
Hey,
No, this is the one that the church found out because she was nobility.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Nobility. Yeah.
fellow actors.
And they found out that they helped hide the good fellows, which were Cathar. The Cathars did sort of like the Mormons and Seventh-day Adventists. They went from community to community as paired brothers or paired sisters.
So they're looking
and
for
they were
paired
poor.
sisters.
And they were
Poor.
Like the Marriott.
They would live. They would live off of the offerings from people, and would not have.
I'm a father of the church. You need to let me sleep in your house.
No, they wouldn't. They wouldn't.
Your daughters.
Your daughter.
The missionary Catholics, good fellows, wouldn't even do that.
Oh.
They went in and they would see a family or someone that had some difficulties, and they would help do things to get that difficulty taken care of, especially when it involved physical labor and stuff like that.
Okay, so
they would work, and they would do the stuff, and they would not even ask for the food. No, they'd only take it if it was offered.
That's just medieval.
But you know how comedians, when they do a stand-up thing, they have different themes that they'll talk about sometimes.
Oh, like Hofstadter.
I want to revisit the 30 years later thing.
Wait, 30 years later.
It was so funny. I want to record it.
30 years later.
Go with it even more than what we did if it lends to it. So,
okay, 30 years after the whole Richard goes on the Crusades and Robin Hood has been given.
And Richard's dead. And John's dead.
And John's dead. And Richard's alive?
No, they're both dead.
They're both dead. Who comes after John?
John lives like 20 years after Richard.
But we're talking 30 years.
30 years.
So that's 10 years after John died.
John's son.
Edward.
Who the fuck was Edward?
Wait, is Robin still alive?
He'd be old as fuck. He'd be 50, 60 years old.
I can imagine Robin. He's like 30 years old and he can't go out on a hunt no more. So
not 30 years old. Add 30 to 20
years
plus.
He's 60 years
30 years older.
50 to 60 years
30
old.
years older.
Which is
30 years
older. Sitting around.
He'd have to be a fucking nobleman to do that because he
couldn't.
because all the others, when average lifespan about 40 years, they'd be all dead too.
Robin was a nobleman.
He was.
He married Mary, and
not after John got on the throne.
He got cheated.
But John,
he was.
No, actually, he married Maid Marian to get the fucking lands because she had.
Wait, did he marry her for true love?
No, he married her for the county of Derby, the county of York.
No,
oh yeah, she as the heritable of the what was it, the McHugh or the
McHugh.
Fitzhugh.
Fitzhugh,
McHugh.
Marion Fitzhugh.
Fitz is that French Norman thing, meaning son or daughter of, descendant of. Where Mick and Mac means the same thing.
Right. In Scottish or Irish.
Or knee for female. But on that, when she was the inheritress of her father's stuff, and that's why she became the ward of the state, because she was unmarried, and that's when her dad died without issue other than her.
Right.
She, by right of being the only child,
Right.
got the 3 different counties that her father had in fiefdom. Robin Hood only had the manor.
Right.
And he's warden of the forest.
At the very first part, he wasn't even warden of the forest.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
And
He just come back from the
in
crusade.
history's
He
sake,
nothing.
it was what did they call him? Robert
Locksley.
Well, Locksley Manor, but there was
Locksley Manor.
another. There was an actual county.
Robin of the Hood.
York.
No, there's other places I can't remember. But I can picture.
But she had Lancaster, she had York, she had Derby.
So he married into that.
She married into. He
He
married
married
her
into that.
to get that.
He didn't get that. I mean,
Yes, he
that's-
did.
wait.
No,
She didn't got that.
in the medieval times, when the man married, her
He did.
lands go to him.
Right. because
Boom,
women
done.
get
So he's a
nothing because
conniver.
they're
He's a
fucking
He was
very
a-
upright
Right.
person.
Women get
Yeah,
nothing.
yeah.
Even though their father gave it to them, they not got nothing because they're going to marry a guy. He's going to get it
Wait,
all.
I can picture this like we're all sitting around drinking, right? I can.
Well,
picture,
we are.
We are.
I can,
Except for I'm almost
we
down.
are. I can picture like Robin's got this big pot belly, right? And then
Maid
I'm
Marian has gray hair, gray streaks because she's had like pushed out 4 or 5 babies.
yeah, but he's drinking and he's got
Yeah.
this big pot belly
And
sitting
she's
around a
still
stove,
a spitfire.
and he's asking like Friar Tuck, like, "Hey, Friar Tuck, where's that cask of mead you had set out there?"
And she's
Keeping
in the
back.
kitchen saying, "Robin, you're supposed to be
No,
cutting
no,
the wood."
no. Let's picture this. Picture this. He's sitting there by the fire and he's drinking a lot of mead. He's drunk too much already, but he doesn't care. And all of a sudden, the door, bam, crashes open against the wall. And Marion comes in with a king's deer over her shoulders and she throws it down.
With
She's
blood
like-
on her gray hair
Blood on
and
her
everything.
gray hair.
She
yeah.
says, "We're having venison for dinner."
Right.
And Robin goes, "Good."
Good, right. And so then she has to get one of the merry men that are not quite as decrepit like Much maybe, because Much secretly
He's a miller's
loves her.
son, so that's
Yeah.
true.
He
That's right.
secretly loves
That's
her.
not what a lot of
so
people
he's like,
know.
"Whatever, Marion, whatever you want." She goes, "Much, skin this, get this. We're gonna have venison for dinner."
And
He's
Much is like, "Oh my
"Okay."
God, Marion, she wants something
She
from
wants
me.
something
Oh.
from me, yes. And so then he's
Maybe I can get something from her.
Yeah,
Yeah, but they're all fucking old. They're
because
all in
Robin
their
is
Much,
60s.
Much doesn't care. He's been lusting after Marion since he was 12 years
That's
old.
right. It's a fantasy, that he wants it so much that he imagines no matter how old she'll be, it's going to be the epitome of his lustful life.
And he'll finally lose his virginity at
Wait,
the age
what?
of 40.
Wait, did this spinster?
Because
Wait,
Much was
wait.
so in lust with Marion, so enamored of her, that he
wouldn't
never
be with
did
anybody
anything.
else. Yeah.
But the spinster, he hooked up with the spinster in the war.
But that was because she was a widow,
I know.
and she needed to have a man to protect
And we
her.
all know how
No.
widows are.
Only ones with
Without a
land.
man for too long.
What?
Knock Much over the head, drag him into the hovel, and say, "Hey, it's been a while. It's been a minute."
You guys really have this idea that this is what it's all about, because women really don't have that idea.
No.
What idea do women have?
Let's
Tell me.
marry up for money and land.
Companionship, protection.
They have no sex drive like we men have?
Not after a certain age, no.
Really?
It all dries up, little rivel thing
What?
inside. Yes,
Mhm.
shrivel.
And that's what
shrivel.
venison fat is all for.
Yeah,
you
venison
get it all
fat.
melted down,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
CNN,
Venison
you
fat.
get all,
Yeah,
We're
you
saved.
get all that
Venison fat.
lubrication going, and
Marion brings in the deer,
Yeah.
throws it down on the floor, and all the older women go, "Oh, thank God."
That's right.
now all we have to do,
Woo!
now we're all we have to do is find a good worker, because none of these men can get the wood up, so we're gonna have to get a guy to
They're
make
all-
us some.
They're all deep in the
Yeah.
cup. Let's go out and find some of these young guys.
They're like, "Have you seen that Much, the miller's son?" And the other one's like, "Yeah, but he's
He's
the son,
pretty
but he's up
old.
there in the years.
He's
Maybe
pretty old.
maybe we need Much the Miller's grandson.
Grandson, yeah. Because he could probably service us a
No,
lot
we
better.
need to get Munchkin.
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 Munchkin. Much is kin.
Much is kin.
Much is kin.
Much is kin.
Which is all of the children and grandchildren of Much, the Miller's son.
I don't know if Much ever had any children.
He tried. He tried a lot.
Yeah, well, try
Yeah,
a
but
lot
spilling
of,
on the ground doesn't do anything.
Like bunny rabbits, you know? No,
Catholic
Catholic rabbits.
bunnies.
Catholic bunnies. Much tried.
Because, in the 1200s, there wasn't the Reformation, so there wasn't anything other than the Catholic.
Right, that was it.
Yeah,
That was it.
yeah,
That was it.
It wasn't until the despot, a few 400 years,
Yeah,
300 years later.
with Luther.
No,
No, before Luther.
before Luther.
Okay,
Long before Luther, there was
Really?
Henry,
Henry.
defender of the faith of the Catholic Church until he wanted a divorce.
Richard's father?
Henry the
Richard's
Eighth.
father?
Henry
Oh,
VIII.
Henry VIII.
Hey,
Okay.
yeah.
I'm way off on my
yeah,
time.
yeah. Okay, yeah.
Luther didn't come about
Yeah.
until after
Yeah,
Henry
yeah.
made the Church of England because he wanted a divorce.
He wanted a divorce.
And the Pope would not give it to him.
Catherine of Aragon.
Aragon. Yeah.
Aragon, yeah.
Yeah, that guy that had the little fancy thing that the elf princess gave him.
Yeah, right.
Aragon.
Yeah. Aragorn. Aragon or Aragorn?
Aragorn.
Same death.
Same thing.
One
Same
letter
thing.
difference. Come
Right,
on.
it's the same guy.
Oh,
Yeah.
wait. Maybe there's an alternate universe where it is the same thing.
It's the
Yeah.
same alternate universe.
And
is the same.
Catherine of Aragon is actually Catherine of Aragorn,
And-
which means that she was a descendant of him.
Yeah. And wasn't she? So
She was
didn't
nobility
she have
too.
Elizabeth? Wasn't she the mother? Of
No,
Elizabeth?
she was the mother of Mary, Elizabeth's older sister.
Mary Queen of Scots?
Mary Queen of Scots.
Ah.
Yeah, there's that.
I feel like I
whole
need a
thing.
playbook, to keep all these.
Hey,
Yeah,
when
yeah.
it comes to the Plantagenets and the Tudors, which are semi-Plantagenets,
Tutors are really complicated too.
Really?
well, yeah. See,
Well, we still
Wait.
the-
Richard is Plantagenet. Tudor is the current monarchs, right?
No.
the current monarchs now are from the House of Saxe-Coburg. They're a German family
Really?
Yeah.
that
The-
were
the-
distantly related to the Tudors
Oh.
by way
Right.
of third and fourth cousin
Yeah,
type
yeah.
thing.
Ooh.
After
Yeah.
they died out,
Right.
it was one of their cousins out to keep the Stuarts from getting back on the throne.
Damn those Stuarts.
And the
Can't
Stuarts
let the
were,
Stuarts.
which were the Scots, but the Stuarts, if you're English, you gotta admit, the Stuarts did bring something because they unified the crown and brought Scotland into the fold.
That's right.
Because James V
Good
of
old James
Scotland
Stewart.
was James the First
Yeah.
of England.
And he
But
was
wait,
so good.
Bonnie Prince Charlie was.
He was a Stuart that was trying to bring the Stuart line back
Back.
in,
Mm.
while the Germans, the Georgians, George the First, George the Second type,
George.
were in.
George.
And the only reason they brought the Georges in was because the Stuarts at that time were all Catholic.
Ah.
And they had to have a Protestant,
Ah.
so you had William of Orange and the Georges come
And it's
in.
all about religion.
It's all about power and control. They didn't.
It
Money.
still is.
It
Religion.
always is. It's always about.
Why can't we just go back to the way it used to be a long time ago when women were in power and we
When
had
was
this
that?
matriarchy where
When was
everything
that?
was
Wait.
peaceful,
When was that?
loving.
Boadicea, the queen in her own right of all
Long
of Britain
time.
against
Yeah,
the Romans.
Boadicea.
Before the Romans came. That's true.
Before the
That's
Romans
true.
came.
That's true.
Boadicea.
Because
Yeah.
I was thinking further back, like caveman days,
No,
club over the head,
it
No.
drag you
wasn't
into
that
the-
far back. It wasn't
No,
that far
no.
back. It was before Romans. Because the Romans were the ones that brought Christianity in.
Well, and even
Which
and-
is weird
That's
because
true.
they killed Christ. You know?
no,
And-
actually,
History is so complicated.
okay, it was Jews that killed it, but the
No,
Romans-
it wasn't even
It
that.
was
It was
the
the
Romans who
Romans.
did it.
Hey,
but the Jews,
but the
were
Jews
saying,
said,
if there's no body, there's no crime.
yeah, there's no body because he ascended
Habeas
into heaven.
Christus.
Habeas corpus Christus.
Yeah.
Oh, we have a city named after
Wait,
that.
wait,
Now we know where his body is.
road trip, Corpus Christi. We need to go there. I want to go there so bad.
Corpus Christi, the body of Christ. So
Yeah.
now we know whatever happened to him.
Yeah,
He's
a whole
down-
bunch of people
he's down
drilled
in
into him and got
I'll
oil.
bet it was the Templars. The Templars
I bet.
took him.
Those damn
all the way
time
across the world.
travelers.
No,
What?
it wasn't the
Time travelers.
it wasn't the
Time
Templars. It was the Southern Baptists.
travelers. Oh, there's that.
Because
There
it's
was no
all about the
Baptist.
money and prosperity doctrine.
There's no
Okay.
Baptist back then.
There's that.
There's
Yeah,
the
it was.
Templars. They took the body of Christ and they moved him to
There
Texas.
wasn't
and
any
that's why they named
Templars
the town
during Christ's
Corpus
time.
Christi.
But they had to be Spanish
Yeah.
Templars, so it wasn't the Templars.
Spanish.
Spanish Templars. No, wasn't it the Spanish who was in on getting rid of the Templars? No, it was the French.
It was a
It
French.
was the
King.
French.
King
It was the
Philip
Philip.
the Fair, yes.
Oh, Philip.
Philip the not so fair.
The not so
fair.
Philip the bankrupt that wanted the
And
Templar
Pope,
money.
Yeah,
and
well,
Pope,
it's all about money.
what
It's
was
all
it?
about
Pope-
money
one
and
of them
power.
popes.
Pope Clement, I think.
Power and money.
I can't remember which pope.
Clement or Pius, one of the
But
two.
King
Pius.
King Philippe
No, he was the
had
one.
spent so much money in the Holy Land in
Is
the
this
Crusades.
the Philippe that had the thing with Richard?
No, this
No.
is a
Different Philippe.
couple hundred.
Generations
Yeah,
there.
a couple hundred years later.
Yeah,
He
because
spent
there's
so
They
much
have the
money,
same damn name.
but they had all these
because
crusades.
they do not have in France as well as early England, they had no sense of imagination. Philip, Dauphin, Philip, Joan, and,
But Philip had
Richard,
spent so
Richard,
much
George,
money in the
John.
crusades that
Henry.
he had bankrupted the treasury of
Edwards.
France, and with all the crusades, they had no money.
Was
So
he
they're
having
like,
them eat cake?
no, that's much later.
That's much later.
So he's like, where can we get
And that
money
was
to
Louis.
run our country? Where can we get money to run our country? And they said, hey, how about them Templars? They got all this land and
Yeah,
money and riches.
all that money.
Hey, Pope,
And
maybe
so
we can strike a
hiding.
deal that you excommunicate them and we torture them into confessing that they're heretics and we seize all their land and all their gold and then we got our coffers filled again.
oh, is that the founding of what they call vestige seizure, where the police can come in and confiscate your property and your money and stuff and charge you with a crime to keep it?
Wait, that sounds
Wait,
like modern day.
That's
Yeah,
like
duh.
modern day.
That sounds like
Yeah.
yesterday.
That sounds
So-
like Texas.
So
Yeah.
maybe there's like a secret society that's kept this policy alive for hundreds and hundreds of years.
That's just wrong in so many ways.
It is.
And I wonder if they have a red banner with a white cross in the center.
Ooh, that would make sense.
That would be the anti-Templars
The anti-Templars.
in
Ooh.
Switzerland.
Isn't that the Illuminati? The
No,
anti-Templars?
not necessarily.
No?
I'm so confused.
It's the Masons. It's the Freemasons.
It's the Masons, the time travelers.
Wait a minute.
What is it with the Masons and being
The
time
Masons
travelers?
are time travelers. They've always been time
Where do you
travelers.
base this on?
My readings.
Your readings?
Yes, my readings.
Yeah, and her readings are from the Ouija board.
No, I stay away from the Ouija board. The Ouija board is controlled by the demons.
I have a
I
Ouija
do
board
that.
on
And
the
the
shelf
demon's
above
name-
my
It's
dryer.
scary. I don't
And-
want to get it out of my
and-
house.
And the Ouija board's demons are named what?
Beelzebub.
Oh no, I thought it was Boniface, Pius, Clement.
I have a Ouija board on
According-
the shelf above my
according-
dryer, but it's
according-
not evil. It's just dusty.
You're
Uh,
dusty.
Which is
I-
kind of evil
Everything
around
else
here.
in this house. is
According to
dusty.
the Articles of Arbroath,
What?
yeah, it was a Scottish document signed off that declared that the Pope and all of his cardinals and bishops are demons.
What?
Yeah,
I would go with
How
that.
did they base that?
I would sign that.
I mean, I believe it, but how did they base that?
I would totally sign.
I don't know. Read the articles of Arbor.
The articles of
If,
Arbor.
if you've read the Bible, you know that Lucifer was an angel that
That's right.
God held in high esteem, and he pissed him off and he cast him out into the dark abyss. Which
But how did he cast him out? Or what?
No,
How did he piss him off?
fucking get out of my house.
No, how did he piss him off?
I don't know. He did something that messed him up.
You know what I think?
It was Lilith.
You know what I think?
I think it was Lilith.
Lilith was just Adam's wife that wanted to stay on top and be a co-equal in naming animals and things. And Adam was so jealous of that because he wanted to have power and control over. So he whined at God. God said, "Okay, well, I'll cast her out there and get rid of her, and I'll put you to sleep and make something out of your ribs. So you can have dominion over her."
But what happened to Lilith? She hooked up with the devil, who was the archangel.
Lilith was cast out, and she just started mating with everything else that was out there because she was able to get co-equalship with.
She became a cat living with Lynn.
Yeah.
Her name's Lilith.
I know, but she's an old, whiny old lady.
Well, that's what happens when you get old. No, what I read once that what happened was that God created the world, right? He created all the fishes and all the birds and all the animals, and the angels saw what God created and went, "Ooh, I wonder what it would be like to fly and to swim in the seas and to procreate. Ooh, we could have sex."
So the angels
went into the bodies of these animals and did all that stuff. And God, who created the angels to be, so he could have company and stuff, said, "Wait! You're not doing the right thing.
To do that.
And come back. And one angel was saying, like, "You're going against God's plan. You shouldn't be doing that." And the other angel said, "We do what we want. We're angels." And that was Lucifer. And he led the downfall of the angels in the revolt against God. And the other angel who's like, "Hey God, I got your back."
That's Michael.
No,
Michael?
That was the soul that then God sent into the body of Jesus to lead us back to where we're supposed to be.
Back into the light.
Yeah, but that was
the light,
later.
That's because we're stupid. I mean, it takes many
millennium later. I mean, we had Sodom and Gomorrah, where God came down and cast everybody out into ash. We had the
Did you see the news the other day?
Flooded everything and said, "You are going to do the right thing because we're going to drown you." What?
Did you see the news the other day?
I was wrong.
Somebody who is a Trump supporter was caught on open mic saying, "Yeah, when I was with Trump down in Mar-a-Lago, he made me do a Sodom and Gomorrah kind of thing to get his support."
That was one of the guys.
What guys?
One of the big guys.
It has to be a guy because Sodom and Gomorrah was what the Southern Baptists call the iniquity of homosexuality.
That's why it's called sodomy. Hello.
Yeah, I know what it's called. What's Gomorrah?
Gomorrah was the other city.
No, Gomorrah was that.
I know what sodomy is, but what's Gomorrah?
No, Gomorrah was that insect girl on Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh, stop!
Wasn't she?
Yeah, me.
Gomorrah? Wait.
But, yeah, you're right. But
Gomorrah?
what is
Gomorrah?
I mean, sodomy. I know what sodomy is, but what's Gomorrah? Gomorrah.
That's more of sodomy. Gomorrah. I want
Gomorrah.
Get some more.
What if Gomorrah was actually gonorrhea on the anal side?
Ooh, because sodomy
that
and
sounds
Gomorrah.
Sounds burny.
We just changed the name of it over time.
That's